Hello, I'd like to ask a question from you. Would you consider yourself as a positive person? Well, I guess you would say yes. I'll agree with you because I feel the same. Before go deep down into this area, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sayuri, living in the UK with my family. By profession, I'm a university researcher, basically doing neuroscience-based researches. But going back to the question I was asking from you guys, would we consider ourselves as positive people? Yes, we would, because we're trying our best to be positive. We're trying to show ourselves as our best version to the world day-to-day basis. Well, that's true in that way. But did you know recent research findings and sources suggesting that as human beings, we tend to get about 12 to 60,000 thoughts, average thoughts per day. Out of them 12 to 60,000 thoughts, did you know that 90% of them thoughts are repetitive thoughts, which means that same thought coming again and again. But again, out of this 12 to 60,000 thoughts, 80% of them are negative thoughts. Have you ever thought in that way? Well, I never, but that's the case from recent research findings. But I would probably agree with that by thinking, if I sit back and think on average thoughts per daily basis, because of so many things happening around us, we are not on our own in the world. We have got so many things around us, our families, our jobs, environments, and day-to-day challenges and responsibilities we got. How many things we got to go through. So obviously, without us realizing, we may have come across so many negative thoughts. As we all normally tend to recognize more and more negativities in a more powerful way, we tend to ignore our positive thoughts. Basically, that's why we don't give more power to the positive thoughts. But again, as recent research is suggesting that we can replace our negative thoughts with positive thoughts and improve our lives, improve the way that we are perceiving our lives, then we can change our lives basically. Saying that, I wouldn't agree. I would expect you all to have 100% positive thoughts on a daily basis. It's impossible, really. But what we can do is, as much as possible, we can acknowledge our negative thoughts, and if we can try and replace them with positive thoughts, that can be possible, and we can reprogram our brains. Saying it easy, but practically doing it can be a bit challenging. But we can do different practical tips and some practices to make it happen. But today is the 1st of August, almost half of the year is already gone. But I was thinking as a challenge for myself and for you guys as well, if you wish to continue, I was thinking to set a sort of challenge for next 28 days. Which I have done before. Every single time when I complete this 28 days gratitude journey, I feel amazing. So as the first of the month, new beginning, I was thinking to start this challenge again for myself. Then I was thinking, let me share with you guys as well. Well, you must have heard about this Australian TV presenter and producer. You must have seen or heard about this very famous documentary called A Secret, the Rhonda Byrne, the Australian TV presenter. She has got so many books out there, Secret and the Magic book. I got a few of her books. I was thinking to start with this practices suggesting in this Magic book. I'm sure most of you may have this book, but recently it was out of the stock. It has come back to the market again. If you have got this book in your hand, great, that you can start practicing. Or if you don't have it with you, don't worry. That's the whole purpose of doing this series. I can go through with you guys on a daily basis what we got to do for next 28 days. Rather talking loads and loads, I would like to straight away go deep down into this book. What I like about the way this book starting is, Rhonda is reminding of our childhood magical time. She's asking, really, do you remember your magical time whenever you were a child? I'm sure you all may have remember. Can you remember when we have got that one of our tooth fallen and we are waiting for the tooth fairy to come? And again, when it comes to Christmas time, we are waiting for the Father Christmas to come and bring us a present. And again, we have had fairies in our gardens. We had talking pets and things like that. Our world was so much filled with magical things. But when it comes to when we grow up into adults, most of them things, magical things have disappeared from our lives, obviously, because our responsibilities and day-to-day challenges and things like that. We tend to forget those magical time. But what Rhonda is trying to remind us that we can bring that magical life back to our lives, simply practicing certain practices. Obviously, I wouldn't expect to see flying reindeer or fairies or talking pets anymore, but we can make sure our dreams can realize, or we can amplify the things that we have got in our lives by practicing these gratitude practices basically. Well, this journey is designed for next 28 days. Every day we have got to commit for few minutes. I would say about 5-10 minutes per day. Just to, if you can start in the morning, that would be grateful, because as you all know, morning is the best time because our brains are in that calming mood. Like alpha waves are mostly there, so we can concentrate on most of the things. I would suggest you to start in the morning if it's possible. That's the best time, but it doesn't matter. You can practice anytime whenever you feel a bit of quiet time. On the day one, what she's saying, count on your blessings. Uh, I'll start with this first quote in this chapter. It says, "When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around." That's what this Willie Nelson said, which I would agree 100%. Every time when I start counting on my blessings, I feel I'm more blissful, and I get more and more things that I can be grateful for. So what this book suggesting is, on every single day for next 28 days, we need to write down 10 things that we can be grateful for in our life. Well, now you might be thinking, oh my gosh, how I'm going to find 10 things that I can be grateful for. But don't worry, it's easier than you think. You can be grateful for the things like your home, your family, your work, and again, your senses, hearing, seeing, and things like that. And again, natural things like air, food, water, and again, weather, flowers, birds, anything really what you can think of that you can be really enjoy. And when it comes to every day, the very first day would be a little bit challenging if you think of what I can be grateful for. At least you can think of, I've got a life to live, I have a family here, and I've got some money in my account. I wouldn't expect you to have millions and millions in your money in your accounts, but at least if you have got some money, that's something that you can be grateful for. Write down them 10 things. Again, any thought can be magnified if we can add that emotional connection to it, as you can understand what I'm trying to say. If you say, I'm grateful for having my family, it's just like a saying. But if you say, I'm grateful for having my family because this is where I feel I belong to, and why you are grateful for having a lovely family for you. If you put that why component into the thing that you are grateful for, that feeling will be more amplified. So what this Rhonda in books also suggesting, write down a thing that you are grateful for, and at the end write down why you are grateful for it. For example, I'm truly blessed to have a job because I can have my financial freedom through it. Then finish that sentence. What you got to do, write down 10 sentences like that. But after you writing down all them 10 sentences, you can go and read back all of them sentences, either out loud or to yourself. At the end of each sentence, say thank you, thank you, thank you. Saying thank you is really magic, and as we all saying, they are the magic words that brings real magic to our lives. Every single time when you finish your sentence, you say thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the end of this practice for a day. But this way we're going to do practice within next 28 days, but coming days we will have different practices. But again, before we start the daily practice, what we normally do, we're going to try and do this grateful quotes, grateful sentences we're going to write down in your book. What I can suggest to you guys is, if you can find empty book which I've started here for today. I'm gonna start with a new book today. What I can suggest you guys is find the book, then you can think of, as we discussed, you can think of the 10 things that you can be grateful for. You can put, I've already wrote down what I'm grateful for. You can write down the day today, 1st of August 2025, day 1. You can write down, count on my blessings. What I wrote down is, when I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. I just put that quote at the beginning. Then I wrote down my 10 things that I'm grateful for. Then I wrote down thank you, thank you, thank you at the end of each sentence. When I read through, even at the end of reading all 10 sentences, I feel so much upliftment for myself as a. Try and see how you feel as well. Obviously, more gratitude you feel towards the things that you are grateful for, the more happiness will be there. Trust me, it works. But let's try and start this new month with a purpose, with the belief that we can change our lives. We are doing something really positive for ourselves, and some people may feel, I wouldn't have enough time to do this one, I have done it before and things like that. Well, that doesn't matter. Even for myself, I did this practice many times before. Every single time, as I said, every single time when I complete 28-day series, I feel really different. I feel myself transforming. That's how our brains are trained anyway. If we don't practice something, it tend to go back to sort of negative state. We need to be keep practicing until it comes into that neurocircuitry to make it solidify the things what we're practicing. Let's see how it goes after 28 days, but at the end of the 28 days we can discuss how we're going to work on certain areas that we need to improve in our life. If you want to improve in your state of money, if you want to improve your relationship, or if you want to improve your health, we can discuss how we're going to concentrate and target on these areas. But for now, let's concentrate on a daily basis, what we got to do on a daily basis. But before I leave for today, I would like you to remind that for tomorrow's practice, we need to have something in our hand. If you can find a smooth rock, piece of stone that you can find, that will be helpful for tomorrow's practice. What I found was this stone, this pink quartz, the small piece of stone that you can hold in your palm and hold in your fist. This is the size of a stone you need to have for tomorrow's practice. If you can find something like that, that will be great. But don't worry if you don't have it right now, but you can find it by tomorrow. And let's see what we're gonna do tomorrow. Until then, I wish you all the very best. Let's keep practicing this and change our lives, starting from today, 1st of August 2025. I wish you all very best. See you again tomorrow.